Today we are building a marketing agent in Notion. So you never have to stare at a blank screen wondering on what to post. Princess Leia is this marketing princess who's rallying the rebellion. But she doesn't do it alone because she has because she has C3PO who has a perfect memory helping and assisting her. So Leia uses all of that data to make better decisions based on what worked instead of just guessing what is working. So the way that most educational community builders are creating is like Leia without C3PO. So creating from scratch every time, no memory, no data, and just looking at a blank screen. And that's what I used to do for quite some time. But what if you had your own C3PO that allows you to remember every post that you ever wrote, every video, tracking the performance on all of that, and then analyzing what worked and then making the best decision on that. So that is what we're doing today. And to give you a little bit more context, hey there, I'm Luke, and I started creating content 6 years ago. It used to take me 20 hours to create a video. And back in April, I built a Notion system that allowed me to create 3 videos per week. So I started on the 1st of April, and I think this was on the 30th of April. So that is like 16 videos roughly. And this was quite the stretch, but it allowed me to really push the systems that I've been building to the next level. And after that, I was learning from Ryan and actually working with him as well on his YouTube growth strategy. And here you can see this is the system that I actually built. And here he got like actually 86,000 views, 14,000 views, 27,000 views. The idea was to build and improve the scalable content system. And then after that, I joined Synthesizer and I worked for Andrew Kirby as the admin of Synthesizer. And then I helped Aiden Labrash with the delivery of the roadmap on Synthesizer scaling, where we help educational creators make more money and help more people. And everything that I've learned from these like brilliant people and mentors is saved in my Notion and now in my Notion agent. And this is the second video in the series where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the marketing side, while the last video was more of an overview. And this is for everyone who is creating communities. You don't need any previous experience with Notion, no technical knowledge, just like 20 minutes of your time to set it up, because the agent will do most of the things. Today, we're going to specifically cover the content, the databases, and the instructions. And then I'm going to show you an example at the end of the video on like how we can use the agents to actually create the video for next week, which will be quite exciting. So in terms of content, I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page and the importance of packaging our videos. So generally, we always want to think about a title, a thumbnail, and a hook structure. So this is what's included in the packaging. And in terms of the format, we want to have a promise, a proof, and a plan. So this is what I'm currently doing right now. We are in the plan phase. And before I created this video, I was thinking about what title to use or what thumbnail and like how to create the hook structure. And actually my agent did most of the things, and then I just refined this. And ultimately, in the end, there are certain tasks that need to complete in order to get the video out. So at the moment, I actually did this already. I did the packaging yesterday. I did some building on the agent. Then I wrote a teaser post. At the moment, I'm filming it, so I can actually check this off as well. So then I will be editing this tomorrow and then also publishing it tomorrow. And this comes up to like roughly 5 hours. I don't really count this because I'm not really like, this is just a teaser post and not connected to YouTube. So this is how I'm thinking about content. So now let's look into databases a little bit more, which is the second aspect of Notion. And this already is a database. So this is kind of allowing me to breaking down this big YouTube video of the Notion marketing agent that creates content for you and thinking about the databases. So this is an entry in that database, and I want to show you the structure because you will be able to just copy this and tell your agent, hey, build something like this for me, and then it will actually do that, which is kind of crazy. So the structure that I like to think about, and here is like a video that I'm planning for 2026. So I'm adding like 10,000 years to that because we humans have been around a little bit longer, but that's like uniquely me. The important thing is this is the name or the title of the video, the date when to publish it, an area on like where to connect it. So is this YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn? Because all of this can live in the same database. Then who is this connected to? So I can connect this here to myself. How important is this video? So I could like potentially change this and then the color changes, which I'm a big fan of. And then we have like a picture for the thumbnail, some stats, some views. So if I add some views, you see this will update in the stats as well as for the comments. So this way you see how this is all changing in real time. And in the future, we'll be able to just put in the link here and then the data will update automatically. So we don't even have to do this ourselves, and we'll just see all these stats being populated by the agent or by the automation itself. So this is something that I would consider as the structure. And as you can see, there are tons of videos in the works or general content. And this is how I structure the general database. But the cool thing about databases is we don't just need to look at it like this. So this may be a little bit overwhelming if you're not familiar with databases. But something that is much easier is just to have a month view. It's like, hey, these are all of the videos that I or my clients are creating or the content that they're creating. So at the moment, we are going through Black Friday. So that's why there's a lot of content happening and we see what is being planned. And I know this is a lot, but for each client, I have a separate view where I'm only seeing them. So I can just add a filter here and say, I only want to, for example, see my content. So I can just say, hey, show me where the player contains Luke. And as you can see now, this is already way more organized. Let's get rid of this. And way more clear, because this is the view that I'm seeing, and I can just move things around. And it's like, hey, actually, I want to post this video on Tuesday already, and then I just move this. So this is for the month view, and then we also have a week view, which breaks things down on a more granular level. So here, I can also add the filter of player being just me. And here you see I'm actually breaking this down into the packaging. And these are the smaller tasks that need to get done that I was showing here at the beginning. So these tasks are actually being shown on my weekly calendar, and I'm connecting this to my calendar as well. So this way I know exactly what I have to do and even when I have to do this. So this is how I'm thinking about the database, and the way that I am now using the agent instructions is effectively giving it a marketing personality. So in here, I think of the agent should be like the knight who attracts people to our banner. I'm giving him a mission on like rallying the people around and repelling the wrong ones. I have a general philosophy, some core activities, a primary focus on like what to attract to, different responsibilities, and how to connect with other databases like Convert and Deliver. So this is something that you can just copy and paste. In terms of the content creation, it gets like really important because here we are thinking about how do we want the titles to be structured. And this is generally in the packaging, we want to spend 80% of our time because this is where most people drop off. So in terms of the titles, here are some guidelines that I want the agent to remember and always use and think about. And these allow the titles to be much better. And then I also give it some examples. So this is always a key aspect on giving some guidelines and then examples on how to follow this. Here, thumbnails, the same thing. these are general guidelines that are worth following when creating thumbnails. And I want my agent to understand them. I don't need to know them, but I want my agent to know them. And we are really taking a look here under the hood. And if this is overwhelming, well, good, because this is all the things that you don't have to think or worry about, because that is what the agent is doing. So we don't need to understand the hook structure, but our agent just needs to know it. So here is where we go into an example on my next video. So something that I would do is I'm going to use a general template that allows me to just create these different tasks. And I can just have Notion do this. By pressing this button, I will automatically generate the promise, the proof, and the plan. And with Notion agents, I don't even think this is necessary, because I could just tell the agent to do this. And now I'm going to open up the agent right here. I'm going to like make this a little bit bigger. So I want the agent to and something that you can also do is I use Whisperflow. So instead of typing, I can just speak. So I want to make a YouTube video that is very similar to the one that I did today. So this YouTube video on Notion Sales Agent that analyzes calls for you is the one for next week. So I want you to already fill out the promise, the proof, and the plan based on the data that I have given you, and execute it in a similar style to the previous video, while also following all the custom instructions within the memories. Now this will just paste it in here. And just to show you, this is like completely empty, effectively, right? There's nothing in here. And I'm gonna press send, and these will close in just a second. So it's crafting. And this is actually using Claude at the moment. I prefer using Claude over GPT within Notion because it's a little bit more conversational. And it's, I don't know, it feels a little bit nicer to work with. So as you can see, it's thinking, goes through different results. I can like go a little bit deeper if I want to and understand like what it's doing. And the different like aspects that it's checking out. I don't think it's I don't know why it's looking at my taxes, but let's just assume that it knows what it's doing. I think it was just looking for the right pages, so it found the 2 pages of the Notion Sales Agent and this Notion Marketing Agent, because this is what I mentioned. So that's perfect that it found these different pages. Now it's thinking, and now you see it already closed the promise, and it is creating the things as we speak. So here, this is currently it working on the proof, which is cool. I love like seeing this in like real time, because I don't see anything else in here. So now it's kind of like finishing up. It closed the tab here. It adds the plan again. Let's see if it actually restructures the plan all the way to the bottom again. And we can already have a look into the promise. So, it actually connected to a Han Solo. I didn't tell it to do that. I wanted to do it. And it kind of did this, which is like pretty cool. So it did this with R2. Then I can just say, hey, I still want you to connect it to C3PO, for example. And then it kind of like does this. And this is the cool part of it, that we can just tell the agent to do things for us. And here just like summarizes what it has done so far. And I am not happy that it used R2D2 here, because I still want it to be C3PO to follow through. So I can just tell it, and then it'll do that. And while it works, we can already work on the new aspect. So it actually took my image from the previous video, which I'm super impressed about. It went into Fathom AI and like looked at the recordings, the Notion CRM. It went into Synthesizer Call and like showed that I had like over 500 calls in 6 months. I didn't even know that I had that. Like, does it have proof for that? Okay, use that as proof. Okay, so it's not perfect. Um, it mentioned 350K launch, which is pretty cool. And then everything is in here. What plan did it come up with? CRM trapping, I like that. Then databases for sales, that makes sense. And then agents instructions. Like, this is pretty solid. Like, I probably just need like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes to rework this. And now it even changed here things to C3PO. And this is why I think Notion agents are the future. They're obviously not perfect, as you can see, but they are learning with every video that I'm creating. I'm excited because this is the future that we're living. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the community. Peace.